Ladies and gentlemen, beloved friends, today I invite you to embark on a journey not into the world outside, but into the boundless, infinite realm within you. For the truth is this: God is not somewhere far away in the heavens. God is not a distant power to be sought externally. The divine presence, the creative intelligence that shapes the universe, resides within you, in the very center of your being. Every thought you hold, every image you cherish in your mind, has the power to shape your life, to mold your destiny. When you awaken to the divine consciousness within, you discover that you are not a passive observer of life. You are a co-creator with the infinite. This is not mere philosophy or wishful thinking. It is a practical law, a principle as certain and unfailing as the law of gravity. Today, we will explore how to awaken this divine awareness, how to align with the infinite power within, and how to consciously create a life of abundance, joy, and peace. As you listen and absorb these truths, you will begin to realize that all the answers, all the miracles you seek, have been within you all along. Remember, my friends, the kingdom of God is not somewhere out there. It is within you, right here, right now. And from this sacred awareness, you can create a life that reflects the boundless intelligence, love, and wisdom of the divine. God resides within you, not somewhere far away or beyond reach, but right in the very center of your being. This divine presence is the source of all life, all intelligence, and all creativity. Many people search outside themselves for power, for guidance, or for solutions to their problems, not realizing that the infinite source of wisdom, love, and abundance has been dwelling quietly within them all along. The moment you understand that God is within you, a profound shift occurs. You begin to see yourself not as a limited human being struggling against the world, but as a conscious participant in the creative intelligence of the universe. Everything that exists outside has its origin within the mind of God, and since you are connected to this same infinite consciousness, you too have the power to create, transform, and shape your life. This divine presence is not distant or abstract. It is living, active, and responsive. It works through your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. Every desire, every vision, every dream you hold can be drawn from this source. When you affirm, believe, and feel the presence of God within, you tap into an inexhaustible reservoir of energy, wisdom, and creativity. You begin to realize that no obstacle is insurmountable, no limitation is permanent, because the infinite power within you is greater than any external circumstance. You do not have to beg or plead for divine assistance. It is already in you, waiting for your recognition, your attention, and your conscious cooperation. By meditating upon this truth, by quietly affirming and visualizing the divine presence in your life, you awaken the God within. You feel guidance, inspiration, and inner peace flowing naturally. The ordinary mind, filled with fear, doubt, or worry, is replaced with a serene awareness of your inherent divinity. This understanding brings not only power, but also joy and confidence, because you realize that you are never alone, never powerless, and never without support. The kingdom of God is not somewhere out there, it is within you, always accessible, always responsive, always perfect. Once this truth is fully embraced, your life begins to change in remarkable ways, as every thought, every action, and every intention is infused with the limitless creative energy of the divine within. Your thoughts shape your reality, and this is one of the most important truths you can ever understand. Every circumstance in your life, whether it is success, failure, joy, or struggle, has its origin in the patterns of thought you hold in your mind. The universe is not indifferent to you. It responds directly and faithfully to the mental images and beliefs you cultivate. When you realize that your mind is like a fertile garden, you understand the power you possess. Every thought is a seed, and it will grow sooner or later into the circumstances of your life. Positive, constructive thoughts create joy, abundance, health, and harmonious relationships. Negative, fearful, or doubtful thoughts create limitation, conflict, and lack. Many people live unconsciously, allowing external events, other people's opinions, or past experiences to dominate their minds. As a result, they wonder why life seems unfair or why they cannot achieve their dreams. The truth is that the mind cannot remain empty. It must create, and what it creates depends on the nature of the thoughts it holds. By consciously directing your thoughts, by imagining and feeling the life you desire, you bring these desires into tangible reality. When you focus on prosperity, love, and health, and when you truly believe in their manifestation, your subconscious mind accepts these as facts and begins to arrange circumstances to match. You do not need to force or struggle. The process is effortless when aligned with divine awareness, because the same infinite intelligence that created the stars responds to your mental images. Conversely, dwelling on fear, worry, or lack will attract more of the same. The power lies not in the outside world but within your own mind. Therefore, awareness is key. Watch your thoughts, nurture positive mental habits, and refuse to feed doubts or fears. Replace self-limiting beliefs with affirmations of abundance, peace, and divine guidance. As you do this, your outer world begins to reflect the inner state of your mind. Life becomes a mirror of your deepest convictions, and you discover that your reality is not something imposed upon you. It is something you consciously create. Understanding this truth transforms your life, giving you freedom, confidence, and the knowledge that you are the master of your destiny, co-creating with the infinite power of God within you. Awakening divine consciousness is the doorway to a life of unlimited power, joy, and fulfillment. Most people live unaware of the infinite intelligence that resides within them, moving through life as if limited by circumstances, experiences, and external forces. Yet the truth is that within every individual is a vast, eternal reservoir of wisdom, guidance, and creative energy, the divine consciousness of God itself. This consciousness is always present, always active, and always ready to respond to your call. To awaken it is to awaken a higher level of awareness, a profound inner knowing that transcends fear, doubt, and limitation. It is a shift from living reactively, driven by circumstances, to living consciously, in harmony with the infinite intelligence within. When you begin to focus your attention inward, with prayer, meditation, or contemplation, you tap into this source. You start to feel a sense of calm, clarity, and assurance that comes from knowing that the solution to every problem, the answer to every question, and the fulfillment of every desire lies within you. Divine consciousness is not something you acquire from the outside. It is realized by turning your awareness inward, by quieting the mind, and by affirming the presence of God within your own being. As this awareness grows, you begin to see life differently. Challenges no longer appear as obstacles, but as opportunities to express the wisdom and power of the divine within you. Decisions are made with clarity and confidence because you are guided by a higher intelligence that is infallible. Creativity flows naturally as ideas, insights, and solutions emerge from this wellspring of divine awareness. Moreover, your relationships, your health, your prosperity, and your inner peace all begin to reflect the level of consciousness you maintain. The more you consciously dwell in this awareness, the more your outer world aligns with the infinite intelligence within. This awakening is not a distant goal or a future promise. It is available here and now. By recognizing that God consciousness resides in your mind and heart, and by consistently connecting with it through thought, feeling, and visualization, you unlock a life of abundance, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment. You realize that you are never alone, never powerless, and always capable of creating the life you truly desire. Awakening divine consciousness transforms ordinary living into extraordinary living because it connects you directly with the infinite power of God within. Aligning with the creative power within is the key to manifesting the life you truly desire. Most people search outside themselves for success, abundance, or happiness, unaware that the source of all creation is already within them. The infinite intelligence of God, the very power that brought the universe into existence, is present in your own mind, waiting for you to recognize and cooperate with it. When you consciously align yourself with this power, you begin to direct life in harmony with the natural laws of the universe. This alignment begins with thought. Every thought you hold is a signal sent to the infinite intelligence within, and it responds with perfect precision. By maintaining thoughts of prosperity, health, love, and peace, you draw these qualities into your life. But alignment is more than simply thinking positively. It is a deep inner state of belief, faith, and awareness. It is the realization that you are not separate from the creative source, you are an expression of it. When you act, speak, and think from this awareness, life begins to flow effortlessly. Opportunities appear, circumstances improve, and solutions come with ease. Fear, doubt, and worry dissolve because you are no longer trying to control life through struggle. You are working in cooperation with an intelligent, infinite power. This alignment also requires surrender and trust. You do not force or manipulate. You allow the divine intelligence within to guide your steps. Meditation, visualization, affirmation, and conscious focus are the tools that help you establish this connection. As you strengthen your alignment, you notice that your actions are more effective, your decisions more inspired, and your life more fulfilling. Health improves because your mind is free from negative patterns. Relationships flourish because you are guided by wisdom and love. Abundance grows because you are connected with the creative flow of the universe. The moment you realize that your inner awareness is the source of all creation, you understand that limitations exist only when you separate yourself from this divine power. Aligning with the creative power within is not an abstract concept. It is a practical, living principle. By consistently tuning your mind, emotions, and actions to this infinite source, you become a conscious creator, capable of shaping your reality to reflect your highest desires. Life transforms, miracles unfold, and every day becomes an expression of divine intelligence at work within you. Overcoming limiting beliefs is one of the most important steps in realizing your divine power and creating the life you desire. Each of us carries within our minds a collection of beliefs, many of which have been formed unconsciously from childhood experiences, societal conditioning, or past failures. These beliefs act like invisible barriers, quietly shaping your reality and often keeping you from achieving your true potential. Fear, doubt, worry, and a sense of unworthiness are all products of these self-imposed limitations. The good news is that these beliefs are not permanent. They can be changed, replaced, and dissolved through conscious effort and understanding of the divine principles that govern life. To overcome limiting beliefs, you must first recognize them. Awareness is the first step to freedom. Notice the recurring thoughts, the self-doubts, the feelings of lack or inadequacy that appear in your mind. Once these are identified, you can consciously begin to replace them with empowering beliefs rooted in divine truth. Affirmations, visualization, and meditation are powerful tools in this process. By repeatedly affirming positive, constructive beliefs, you impress your subconscious mind with new patterns of thought, gradually dissolving the old limiting ones. For example, instead of thinking, "I am not capable," replace it with, "I am a limitless expression of divine intelligence, capable of achieving all that is good and right for me." Feel the truth of this statement, let it permeate your being, and act as if it is already real. Over time, your subconscious mind begins to accept this new belief as reality, and your external life begins to reflect it. Limiting beliefs lose their power because they have no foundation in the infinite truth of God consciousness that resides within you. Remember, fear and doubt are merely thoughts. They hold no real authority unless you give them attention and energy. When you consciously align your mind with divine awareness, every old limitation is replaced with clarity, confidence, and creative power. You begin to see that obstacles were never permanent, and that every restriction existed only in thought. The moment you overcome these self-imposed barriers, you step fully into the freedom, abundance, and divine potential that is your birthright. Life becomes a reflection of your highest self, and you realize that the only limits that ever existed were those you placed on yourself. Living from inner divinity is the ultimate expression of the truth that God resides within you. It is the conscious practice of allowing the infinite intelligence, love, and creative power of the divine to guide every thought, feeling, and action in your life. Most people live outwardly, responding to circumstances, reacting to events, and seeking fulfillment from external sources, never realizing that the true source of strength, wisdom, and joy is already within. To live from inner divinity is to recognize that every individual is a unique expression of God consciousness, capable of creating a life filled with abundance, harmony, and purpose. This begins with awareness. By turning your attention inward and acknowledging the divine presence in your mind and heart, you awaken to a reality where nothing is impossible and where every problem has a solution. When you act from this place of inner divinity, you no longer rely solely on your limited personal understanding or worldly experience. Instead, you are guided by a higher intelligence that sees the perfect order of the universe and knows the best path for every circumstance. Living from inner divinity also transforms your relationships, for as you connect with the love and wisdom within, you naturally express patience, compassion, and understanding to others. You begin to attract people and situations that reflect the harmony and abundance of the inner state you maintain. Health improves as worry, fear, and negativity are replaced by peace, confidence, and trust in divine guidance. Financial and creative abundance flows effortlessly because you are no longer struggling or forcing results. You are cooperating with the infinite creative power within. This way of living is not about seeking special experiences or extraordinary circumstances. It is about a constant conscious awareness that the divine is your inner companion, your guide, and your creative partner. Through prayer, meditation, visualization, and affirmation, you strengthen this connection until it becomes your natural state. Every decision, every action, every word you speak reflects the intelligence, love, and wisdom of the divine within. As you live in this awareness, life becomes effortless, joyous, and filled with miraculous possibilities. You realize that nothing is outside your reach because the power that created the universe flows through you. To live from inner divinity is to step fully into your role as a co-creator with God, manifesting a life of abundance, peace, and spiritual fulfillment. It is the highest expression of your true self and the ultimate realization of your divine potential. As we come to the close of this message, remember this profound truth. God is within you, always, eternally, and perfectly. Everything you seek, peace, abundance, health, love, and success already exists within your own consciousness. The universe responds faithfully to the thoughts, beliefs, and images you hold in your mind. You are not a passive observer of life, you are a co-creator with the infinite intelligence of God. By awakening to this divine awareness, by aligning your thoughts with the creative power within, and by releasing all fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs, you step into a life of freedom, joy, and limitless possibility. Every moment becomes an opportunity to express the divinity within you, to create circumstances that reflect your highest ideals, and to live in harmony with the infinite wisdom of the universe. Never forget, the kingdom of God is not out there somewhere. It is within you. It is alive in your mind, your heart, and your very being. When you live from this awareness, miracles begin to appear naturally, opportunities flow effortlessly, and your life becomes a reflection of the boundless power and love of God. So go forth with confidence, knowing that you are a divine co-creator. See yourself as the living embodiment of God consciousness. Think, feel, and act from this inner divinity, and watch as your world transforms in ways you never imagined possible.